Beloved chosen one, it's not by chance that you're viewing this video. There's a reason you're here. For a long time, you've carried silent pain in your heart because of the way people have treated you, in love, in friendships, and even within your own family. They made you feel like you were difficult to love or too guarded to understand. But the truth is simple. You were never a burden. You were simply someone who could not be easily deceived, and that honesty made others uncomfortable. Today, we're going to look at your journey through 7 spiritual sections and insights that will help you release guilt, heal deeply, and see yourself the way God already sees you, with clarity, purpose, and grace. Before we move forward, take a moment to like, share, or subscribe if this message speaks to your spirit. This isn't ordinary content. This is a divine reminder meant for those who are spiritually awakened. And if your heart feels aligned with this message, type 77 in the comments. This number carries a spiritual vibration, a sign to the Most High that you are ready to step into wisdom, protection, and spiritual awareness. Not everyone will stay for the full message. Only those who are spiritually chosen will feel guided to continue. If you stay, you will gain stronger insight, emotional strength, and confirmation that you are not difficult to love. You are simply spiritually discerning. Come back to this message whenever you feel drained, confused, or disconnected. Every time you return, a new layer of truth will awaken within you, and your spiritual discernment will grow stronger. Let's begin your healing journey now. Section number 1, your spiritual sensitivity set you apart. From the very beginning of your life, you carried a spiritual awareness that made you different from the people around you. Even as a child, you noticed things others didn't see. While many paid attention only to outward behavior or pleasant appearances, your spirit was drawn to the truth beneath the surface. You could sense the emotion, hiding behind a smile. You could feel the intention buried inside someone's words. You could recognize when something felt off, even if nothing was said out loud. This wasn't fear or overthinking. It was a God-given ability, a spiritual sensitivity placed in you long before you were born. God designed your heart to be perceptive, able to pick up on subtle shifts in people, environments, and emotions. You weren't just observing faces, you were recognizing the condition of hearts. Because of this, people experienced you differently. Those with pure motives felt comfortable around you, as if they didn't need to pretend. But those with hidden agendas, jealousy, or deception became uneasy in your presence. Your spirit revealed what their words tried to hide, and they couldn't mask their intentions from you the way they did with others. They couldn't manipulate you with flattery. They couldn't distract you with empty promises. They couldn't mislead you with charming behavior. Your inner knowing exposed what was real and what was false. You've always been able to sense the difference between genuine care and subtle manipulation, between support and competition, between sincere love and quiet control. You recognized forced smiles covering envy, congratulatory words mixed with bitterness, and warm voices carrying cold energy. You didn't fall for what others were fooled by, not because you wanted to judge, but because God created you spiritually alert. But one thing about discernment is this: darkness dislikes being recognized. The enemy knew that your awareness protected you, so he used people, even those you trusted, to make you question your own intuition. They labeled you as too sensitive, too judgmental, or too difficult. They tried to convince you that your spiritual clarity was a flaw. And for a time, you may have tried to suppress your own insight just to avoid conflict and fit in. You may have doubted yourself, wondering if something was wrong with you. But the truth is simple. You were never hard to love. You were simply not easy to deceive. You weren't closed off. You were spiritually cautious. You weren't emotionless. You were protecting what God placed in you. You weren't distant. You were honoring your spirit's wisdom. Your discernment has always been a divine gift, a shield, not a burden, and it's time you recognize it as the blessing it truly is. There's something important you need to understand. Your spiritual insight has protected you far more than you realize. Many painful situations never touched you because your inner wisdom warned you before anything could unfold. You avoided betrayals because you sensed dishonesty long before it showed itself. You walked away from opportunities because you recognized selfish motives behind polite words. You stayed out of certain relationships because your spirit detected danger that your eyes couldn't yet identify. God didn't give you this spiritual awareness to make you feel alone. He gave it to shield you until the right people, the right places, and the right connections come into your life. The individual God is preparing for you won't feel uncomfortable with your discernment. They'll appreciate it. They'll see it as a sign of your integrity, that you choose truth over empty gestures, faithfulness over sweet talk, and sincerity over superficial appearance. The enemy tried to convince you that your gift made you too much, that your awareness pushed love away. But God is revealing that this same gift is what will lead you to the love, friendships, and partnerships that are real. When the right person or opportunity arrives, you won't feel confused or uncertain. Your spirit will immediately sense peace. Your heart will relax because you'll finally recognize what genuine alignment feels like. Your discernment isn't a burden. It's the very tool God is using to guide you into relationships that are safe, honest, and divinely appointed. Section number 2. Love is a sacred covenant to you. Chosen one, Pooh for you, love has always carried a deep spiritual meaning. It has never been something casual or temporary. Love isn't entertainment, and it isn't something you use to fill empty moments. To you, love is holy. It's a commitment that joins two souls with intention, honesty, and spiritual purpose. You don't speak of love lightly because you understand its power. You've witnessed the damage caused when love is spoken without sincerity, wounded hearts, broken trust, and emotional scars that take time to heal. This is why you've walked away from people who could lie with a straight face while pretending to care. You've cut off those who promised affection today but vanished tomorrow. You've stepped back from those who loved you only when it was convenient, yet disappeared in the moments you needed true support. You know that love requires consistency. Without it, everything falls apart. Life has taught you, sometimes painfully, that not everyone who uses sweet names or kind words is genuine. Not everyone smiling in your presence has good intentions. Not everyone claiming to care will actually stand beside you when life becomes difficult. Because of these lessons, you refuse to settle for pretend love, even when loneliness presses in or others misunderstand your standards. Some people think you are too selective or too cautious, but they don't realize your standards come from spiritual wisdom, not pride. You don't judge love by how exciting it feels at the beginning. You look at how faithful it remains when challenges arise. You're not waiting for someone who simply desires you. You're waiting for someone who honors you. You're not interested in someone who only wants your body. You're seeking the one who values your soul. This isn't about being difficult to approach. It's about being spiritually protected. It's about guarding your destiny from relationships that would weaken your spirit, drain your energy, or pull you away from the purpose God placed inside you. Your love is sacred because your calling is sacred, and you're not willing to let anything counterfeit interrupt that. You're not searching for someone to fill a void within you because God has already completed you. What you desire is a partner who aligns with your purpose and carries a spirit that harmonizes with your own. For you, love isn't measured by gifts or grand gestures. It's measured by whether someone can nurture your heart and help your spirit grow. You're not impressed by public displays if there is no sincerity behind closed doors. You're not moved by someone who rushes in with excitement but disappears when life becomes challenging. You value the one who remains steady, loyal, and present through every season. This is why you don't hurry into relationships. This is why you choose solitude over settling. You would rather walk alone for a while than attach yourself to someone who doesn't match the assignment God placed on your life. You understand that the love God has prepared for you requires spiritual maturity, readiness, and clear discernment. And when the right connection enters your life, it won't bring confusion. It will bring peace. It won't ask you to lower your standards. It will encourage you to rise higher. It won't compete with your calling. It will strengthen it. And this is what people often misunderstand about you. It's not that you refuse to love. You simply refuse to waste the love God placed inside you. Section number 3. They wanted what you offered, not who you were. Beloved, chosen one, some of the deepest pain in your life didn't come from relationships that simply ended. The real hurt came from realizing that certain people were never interested in you, only in what you brought into their lives. They were drawn to your gifts, not your heart. They desired the benefits of being close to you, but had no intention of building a genuine connection. These individuals loved what your presence did for them, but they had no desire to understand your spirit. They enjoyed your warmth but didn't want to stand with you in your storms. They admired your strength but ignored the struggles that shaped it. They wanted the light in you, but not the journey it took to carry that light. They consumed your energy whenever they felt empty, without caring about the weight it put on your soul. They sought your insight because it helped them avoid mistakes, yet they never honored the battles you endured to gain that wisdom. They used your kindness, your time, your support, and your generosity, not because they cherished you, but because they benefited from you. Your presence lifted their confidence and elevated their image, but they never paused to ask if you were tired, hurting, or lonely. And the moment you stopped giving endlessly, when you finally chose balance, self-respect, and emotional protection, they became frustrated. That's when their true intentions surfaced. Suddenly, you were difficult. Suddenly, you were selfish. Suddenly, they accused you of changing. But the truth is simple. You didn't shut down. You woke up. You didn't become unloving. You became wise. You didn't build walls. You created boundaries. You didn't close your heart. You guarded your spirit. You finally understood that your presence, your energy, and your love are sacred, not something that everyone should have unlimited access to. Constant entry into your life is something to be earned, not assumed. You've come to understand that a friendly face doesn't always mean a faithful heart. You've discovered that some people draw near only long enough to take what they want and then vanish. Through experience, you learned that those who truly care for you will never shame you for protecting your spirit. And while this journey required letting go of people you once imagined would walk with you forever, it also gave you something priceless: peace of mind. You stopped offering the sacred parts of your heart to people who didn't handle them with honor. You stopped allowing others to receive from you without ever giving back. Now you clearly recognize the difference between genuine connection and simple access. Connection is balanced, nurturing, and built on mutual respect. Access without connection is unhealthy, draining, one-sided, and rooted in convenience. One relationship style helps you flourish. The other slowly wears down your spirit. And you've finally chosen growth. You refuse to engage with those who want the benefits of being close to you without the responsibility of truly caring for you. You refuse to be a constant source of support for people who never invest in your well-being. You refuse to open your heart to those who only show up when they're in need. From this point forward, your time, love, and spiritual presence are reserved for people who appreciate their value. Saying no to the wrong individuals is not harsh. It is wisdom. It is dignity. And every moment you guard your heart, you are also protecting the purpose God placed within you. Section number 4. Your quietness revealed what words never couldn't. Chosen one, as time passed, you discovered a powerful truth. Your silence is not a sign of weakness, it's a spiritual tool. In a world that pressures you to constantly explain yourself, justify your choices, and prove your worth, you chose to step back. You allowed your quietness to speak in ways your voice never had to. There was a season when you felt responsible for making everything clear. You would explain your intentions in detail, apologize for things that weren't your fault, and stretch yourself thin trying to keep relationships intact. You talked to avoid conflict, you justified to avoid rejection, and you gave more than you needed to just to feel understood. But with experience, you learned that over-explaining only serves people who were never willing to listen anyway. Those who genuinely cared about you didn't need long speeches. Their hearts recognized your truth without you having to fight for it. So you stopped chasing, you stopped trying to convince people who had already decided their version of you. You stopped offering clarity to people who didn't value your voice. You stopped proving your worth to those who should have seen it from the beginning. And the moment you chose silence, everything became clear. Silence unmasked what noise used to hide. When you stopped filling the space with explanations, people's true motives stepped forward. Those who were only present when you were giving, supporting, or uplifting them quietly drifted away once you stopped pouring into them. Those who depended on your constant attention became uneasy when you no longer fed their ego. Those who kept you around out of convenience faded once you were no longer available to fix their problems. Your silence didn't push people away. It revealed who was never meant to stay. The beauty in your journey is this. When you became quiet, the people who truly cared stepped closer instead of drifting away. The ones who recognized your value didn't need long explanations or constant updates. They trusted your character. They didn't vanish when you stopped giving. They gave back to you. Your silence taught you lessons your words never could. It showed you the difference between people who only seek attention and those who offer real affection. Attention can be forced, manipulated, or demanded. But genuine love is given freely, without pressure. Your quietness also revealed the contrast between people who show up out of convenience and those who show up out of commitment. Convenience stays when it's easy. Commitment stays when it matters. When you stopped speaking, you allowed others to reveal their true intentions. And they did. Those meant to remain in your life came closer in the quiet. Those meant to leave naturally faded away. Those meant to love you were not threatened by your boundaries. They honored them. Now your silence isn't a defense mechanism. It's a spiritual filter. It separates those who connect with your soul from those who only connect with your benefits. It guards your peace. It protects your strength. It allows God to step in and handle battles you no longer need to fight with explanations or arguments. You've learned that silence isn't emptiness. It's clarity, it's wisdom, it's freedom. And through that quiet wisdom, you stopped chasing what was never meant for your spirit. Section number 5. God protected you from the wrong connections. Beloved chosen one, there was a time when you believed certain people were essential to your happiness, your progress, even your survival. You imagined they would stand beside you through every victory and every struggle, celebrating your growth and supporting your dreams. But now, with the wisdom God has given you, you understand a deeper truth. Not all bonds were meant for your journey. Some of the relationships you held close would have drained your spirit slowly, consuming your energy, your focus, and your joy, leaving little room for the calling God placed on your life. Other connections would have steered you away from your divine path, making life appear successful on the outside while leaving your soul empty and unfulfilled. And then there were the dangerous ones, those who could have destroyed what God entrusted to you, sabotaging your gifts before they even had a chance to flourish. Looking back, you remember the pain of betrayal, the confusion of rejection, and the hollow feeling when people you trusted walked away. In those moments, it felt like loss. It felt like abandonment. It felt deeply unfair, but now you see that every separation, every heartbreak, and every disappointment was protection. God was shielding your spirit from connections that would have hindered your purpose. Every person who left made space for those who are truly aligned with your destiny. You were never abandoned. You were being guided. You were being preserved. You may have once questioned God, wondering why He allowed people you trusted to hurt you so deeply. But now you see the truth. It was never punishment. It was protection. God saw what your heart could not. He knew the secret conversations, the hidden jealousy, and the subtle ways others tried to weaken your confidence or distract you from your purpose. He knew that some of the very people you relied on would have quietly rejoiced in your failure. So He removed them from your path, not to harm you, but to preserve you. Sometimes this happened through conflict, sometimes through betrayal, and sometimes through sudden, confusing silence. Each separation was a safeguard. What felt like loss was actually a divine rescue. You were being lifted out of spiritual quicksand, freed from invisible chains before they could hold you back. Though it caused pain, these separations created space for the right connections. People who would support your spirit, encourage your growth, and align with your divine purpose. Looking back, you can see it clearly. Every closed door was a shield, every goodbye a redirection, and every loss a layer of protection from what could have destroyed you. God never left you empty. He was preparing you to receive what truly honors your soul. Some relationships break you, others build you. And when God intervenes, He ensures you are connected only to those who are meant to lift you higher, nurture your calling, and walk with you in alignment with His plan. Section number 6. The right love respects your sacred boundaries. Chosen one, the love that is truly meant for you will honor the way God has shaped your heart, including the boundaries you've built to protect it. Whether this person enters your life as a friend, a partner, or a trusted companion, they will never feel threatened or discouraged by the caution you carry. They will understand that the walls around your heart are not meant to keep love away, but to preserve the sacredness of your spirit and ensure that only those aligned with God's plan can enter. The right person will see your boundaries as proof of self-respect, spiritual maturity, and wisdom gained from your past experiences. They will recognize that every rule, every line drawn, and every moment of caution comes from lessons learned, from battles fought, and from the desire to protect the calling and purpose God has placed within you. Unlike those who approached you in the past with selfish intentions, those who tried to climb over, dismantle, or guilt you into lowering your guard, the one meant for you will never resent or misunderstand your carefulness. They will never treat your discernment as an insult, nor will they pressure you to compromise the integrity of your heart. The right love will move with patience, humility, and reverence. They will not demand access before the time is right. They will knock gently, waiting respectfully for you to open the door. They will naturally align with your expectations for honesty, consistency, and genuine care, knowing that these are not unreasonable demands, but expressions of a heart that has been refined by God. They will never accuse you of being too much, too guarded, or too careful. Instead, they will thank God silently for your discernment, knowing that your standards protect both your heart and the destiny God has designed for you. With the right love, your safety and peace will not depend on you lowering your standards or bending your rules. Instead, it will come from a partner who willingly rises to meet those standards without hesitation or complaint, who moves in harmony with the integrity of your boundaries, and who instinctively understands how to cherish and nurture a heart like yours. They will respect the journey that shaped you, honor the strength you carry, and treat your spirit with the reverence it deserves. This love will feel effortless, not because it is careless, but because it is divinely aligned. It will allow your soul to expand rather than shrink. It will support your purpose rather than compete with it. And in the presence of the right person, your heart will feel safe without compromise, valued without question, and understood without explanation. For they will know that a heart like yours is a sacred gift, entrusted by God to be protected until the right love arrives. The right love will never try to trick or manipulate you into lowering your guard so it can harm you. They won't show temporary kindness to earn your trust only to disappear or betray you later. Instead, their actions will be steady and reliable, their words aligned with their deeds, proving over time that you no longer need to protect yourself in their presence. This love brings peace, not fear. It makes you feel valued without creating obligation. It enhances your life without diminishing your soul. You will recognize it, not because they insist or declare it, but because their consistent behavior and care show you the truth of their heart. This is the love worthy of keeping your heart open and your trust intact. With the right love, you will understand that relationships were never meant to feel like battles. True love is a refuge, a place where your spirit can finally rest. The right partner doesn't challenge your boundaries, they support them, honor them, and even help carry the weight of protecting your heart. In that moment, you will see clearly that your boundaries were never a problem. They were a shield, a preparation, and a guidance system leading the right love straight to you. And you will feel gratitude for every heartbreak, every rejection, and every season of loneliness, because each one trained your spirit to recognize and receive the love God always intended for you. The last section, number 7. You are never hard to love. Beloved chosen one, you are never too much or unlovable. You are God's chosen treasure, crafted with divine purpose and meant to be cherished, not questioned. Let this truth sink into your spirit like a gentle, healing rain. Your heart was never too guarded, your emotions were never too deep, and your boundaries were never a flaw. The world may have tried to label you as complicated, intense, quiet, or difficult, but that was never the reality. What happened is this: people who wanted easy access without responsibility were intimidated by your depth. Those who only knew surface-level connections could not comprehend the richness of your soul. And those who mistook your standards for stubbornness never understood that your heart had been refined in God's fire. God designed you with intention, layer by layer. He made you tender enough to sense what others overlook, yet wise enough to detect deception before it touched you. He gave you insight to see past appearances, intuition to feel when something is wrong, and discernment to protect your spirit. Your boundaries were never born of fear. They are sacred gates, guarding a holy garden within, meant to preserve your beauty and your calling. You were never created to please everyone or to seek mass approval. You were set apart for divine connections, relationships that honor your purpose, protect your peace, and draw out your highest self. Your love was never meant to be handled carelessly, and your worth was never up for debate. Those who tried to exploit your kindness or drain your spirit may have left, but they lost something irreplaceable. The truth is, you were never hard to love. You were simply too real, too discerning, and too aligned with God's design for those who preferred illusion. You were never cold. You were careful to give your warmth only to those who deserved it. You were never unlovable. You were impossible to manipulate. And that careful, chosen heart is not a weakness. It is a divine safeguard, preserving you for the love and life God intended. God did not place you on this earth to be a temporary solution for anyone. He positioned you carefully, hidden in plain sight, so that only someone with a pure heart, spiritual wisdom, and a purpose aligned with God could truly find you. One day, you will look back and understand why certain doors closed forever, why some people could not remain in your life, and why love had to wait until you healed, matured, and fully embraced your God-given identity. Every unanswered message, every betrayal, and every goodbye was not rejection. It was God building a protective wall around your destiny, keeping your heart and your purpose safe. The love that is meant for you will never run from your standards. It will honor your boundaries, cherish your worth, and meet you in alignment with your spirit. You will not be left carrying the weight alone. That love will not merely be a person, it will be a divine partnership. It will be a meeting of two callings, a union designed to strengthen both of you as you step boldly into the life God has prepared. You were never truly waiting for love. Love was waiting for you, waiting for the day when you were ready to stand fully in your identity, strong, whole, and prepared to receive it without fear or compromise. Treasures are never exposed where anyone can take them. They are guarded, hidden, and preserved until the appointed time. You, chosen one, have always been God's treasure, priceless, irreplaceable, and destined to be in the hands of someone who will recognize your value and never let you go. Here ends this prophetic message. If you're eager for more, whether additional chapters to this spiritual journey or a powerful visual concept for a video or thumbnail, simply just say the word. I'm here and I'm ready to help bring it all to life.